Hello, and welcome back to the Human Shield. My name's Ryan, but we're walking in the boots of Woody Guthrie for this story. So, a couple of months after I started working up there at the Texas Card House, I noticed something had changed. I wasn't the first Ryan to be there. The CEO is named Ryan Crow, and we'll talk about him. And I certainly wasn't the last Ryan to work up there, because one day I looked around and everybody was named Ryan, okay? It was like they had spent some time watching me, and it's like, well, we're gonna need as much of this guy as we can get. There's actually a national meeting of Ryans every year, and I think this is where they go and do their recruiting. I swear. They told us there were 300 people up there in the family, and 150 of them were named Ryan at one point. They would get on the intercom. It was just like primary school. It got to the point where even I was having trouble doing my job because they were just calling my name constantly over the intercom. Ryan, 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 Ryan. And every time, it was something. I had to go save a life, basically. So what I did was I just stopped answering. I became Alexander, not Ryan, not Alex, Alexander, and I wouldn't answer to anything else. Wore it right here on my shirt. And it's really sad now that I think back about it, because they took my whole identity from me and they erased it and they minimized it and they made it disposable. They spread it across everyone else, and you know, at least I can say my spirit lives on. Let's talk about the house. The website, texascardhouse.com. You can go there. Let's go there. And you can see, well, it's one brand with a bunch of different locations. One Texas Card House. But the reality, when you look at the paychecks, well, they're coming from TCH Dallas 2. What happened there? What happened to TCH Dallas? TCH Dallas 1 had to move all the way. Did you start on TCH Dallas 2? Don't think so. And then there's Los Colinas Card Club, and this is the game. It's called EIN Fragmentation. Instead of having one worker working 20 to 30 hours a week for one company, they split it into two companies. And now they got a bunch of ghosts. They got one worker working over here 10 hours for $21, and then you spend the other 10 hours working over here for another $21, and it's never enough to look any closer at. And so they just got a whole army of ghosts. No one's paying taxes. They opened up this new club, Los Colinas Card Club. This new club, the separate entity with no affiliation. And they said, hey, do any of you guys want to go work over there? And I said, no thank you. What did they do? Well, they scheduled me for 3 days a week over there, whether I liked it or not. And I had no fun over there. And we'll have another episode about that experience. And I still haven't gotten paid for it. But So it's obviously, well, who knows what's going on, because it is the same company, but then they say it's not. And what's really important here is not only did they steal my name, my identity, they stole my present by paying me $2 an hour and then canceling the check. They stole my future as well. Because this whole time I'm working up there for 5 years, being a star employee, well, they were not withholding any money for Social Security and Medicare. And they're not doing it for anyone. And so they go to work you, you're up there breaking your back for these people, and then when it finally gives out, there's no benefits for you because you didn't exist. You can check the Social Security Administration portal. There is a gaping hole where my life used to be. They're building mansions out of the Medicare and the Social Security they stole from us. You know, and it's not that they're just bad at math, they're just really good at pickpocketing. One of these documents I uncovered, well, there's a city hall meeting when they wanted to shut down the Texas Card House, and I stood up for the place like a good little Ryan. I went up there to the city hall and I spoke the truth to the power, and I told them that shutting down this business would be an overreach of government power. It would be an action of a bunch of communists, and they were going to shut it down until they realized they wouldn't be communists. So I saved your place from the government shutting it down the first time, Ryan. How'd you repay me? Stealing my past, present, and future, and my name. Looks like it worked out for you, though. Now, I was looking at that document, and I was like, whoa. He's on here. Let's look and see what he's up to. Well, it looks like he's still building onto his house. I mean, my goodness. Quite a castle. You know, I swear, I've never met this man. I had to look into him because it became important. He started stalking me. It's a year later, and he's just showing up everywhere. We talked about all of his employees stalking me. He's stalking me personally online. Remember, we had Sweaty Leon in the bathroom. He's asking me, how are you? Just checking. Well, I tell you, tell you what I was up to, Ryan. You were so busy checking my Instagram feed, you didn't notice the DOJ whistleblower complaint I filed on your ass, number 463057-VJS. Yeah, because you got 300 of your family up there, and you won't give them no water. I got something for you, buddy. Yo, Ryan, you there? I'm just now getting around to looking at these notifications. I see you've been suggested on my feed for about 6 months now. I see the views coming in from the executive offices. I meant to block you sooner, but I've just been busy. You see, I was at an open mic while you were trying to set up that cornfield meeting. While you were checking your watch down there at TCH, I was finding my voice. It's funny you're so obsessed with what I'm saying now, considering you spent 5 years trying to take my very name away. You hired 300 Ryans hoping I'd get lost in the noise. You fragmented the company into TCH Dallas 2 and Las Colinas hoping I'd become a ghost in the tax records. You thought if you made me invisible, I'd just disappear. But now look at you. You're the one haunting my curtains. You're the one sweating in a Hawaiian shirt in the bathroom asking me, how are you? Like you're looking for a sign that I'm still hurting. I'm not the one who's hurting, Ryan. I'm Alexander now. And while you're busy checking my Instagram, I was busy checking the Social Security Administration records. I was busy filing with the DOJ. You're so worried about what I'm saying, you didn't notice what I was doing. You're like the guy in the song. What was his name? He was so obsessed with a shadow that he didn't realize he was driving his own reputation off a cliff. Wait, I just saw the news. About the Rat King and the culling. About the Superman posters coming down. Damn, that was you?